Hello and welcome. Today's date comes in that of Monday, 24th day of August 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and other like. Well, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. Bitcoin continuing to hang in there. There's this really big level of resistance that we hit here near 12,000. Coming up to it on the 2nd of August, and then again on the 10th, breaking above it on the 17th. But in such, it wasn't that big of a move that it broke above. But in turn, we've been seeing it correcting within the 18 average. This is day number 6, lifting off from the lows, pretty much in the area where the 18 average of closes would be. But I really do need to see this really get above this line of 12,000 for me to say that, hey, this Bitcoin's back in a nice bull run. And it's coming up from this great rally on July the 22nd and doing very well at holding in there, basically, with the first support at the 18 average of highs on the second, and supporting the lows and supporting the lows here. So 2 support tests of the lows. The first one being successful, looking like this one might be as well, but you see it breaking out. Like this time it did, and it didn't do anything. Well, yeah, it did, and if you put stops playing, or if you bought and you wait, that's a common thing as well too. When sometimes a move like this will come in, and then it's just going to happen later on after the fact. On the bearish side, we see all the support levels coming in. On right here, we've got 11,485, and it didn't test it here. It tested a little higher. So if it breaks down below, I got a next key level upwards of the upper end of 11,130 area, and then even down towards 10,650. And then breaking down below that, well, we have been having a really good run, and we could look at calculations on just different time frames, like the weekly and the monthly, which are in bullish states, and it looks like it's more probable, of course, that these markets should be going higher. Of course, the market's going to do what it's going to do, obviously. On the weekly term chart, it has been breaking out above this 18 average of highs, and these low volatile consolidation amongst the areas, like holding in within this area. This is a decently strong setup in itself. I want to see it hold and stay above like 10,000 or high 9,000 area, like 97, 95 area. If I can hold and stay above that, that's in itself really good. But again, not going down is what it did before. As in, okay, we have this possible inverted head and shoulders pattern, and this was the low volatile correction. So, I mean, this is even a little more low. This is lower volatile here in comparison to there. But yeah, again, as that daily chart breaking above that level, then we could be starting to talk about really some interesting moves going forward. Next up will be Bitcoin dominance, and continuing in a grinding downtrend since the May highs, as it has really had no or very little escape amongst the 18 average of highs, and spending a decent amount of time below the lows. Albeit, when spending that time below the lows, has not had any major capitulation style candle moves. As when we take a look at this with more periods, and this is a daily term, we've had the key low and key high. And the key thing about the high is that September 6th of, not 2019, we're looking at 1 year since that high, and it's been lower highs and lower lows, but not much of them. I mean, this low move to this area could have been done in like 10 days or from that point. Another way of putting that is that it's been low volatility, and until it's not, it will of course remain amongst such. But when we take a look at this, say on something like the weekly term time frame, we can see in here with this, as I'm looking at this situation, it's interestingly live what can happen in here. For we had from this move in here, as it was in the uptrend, unable to break out here, breaking down from the 18 average of lows on this January period, establishing this level of support. So from that point, a lot of neutralization was coming in within this time frame, unable to get above the highs but supporting the lows. Then it did get above it here. That's a chance to regain the bullish trend, unable to do so. And then it really gave in on the 18 average of lows, and that's June and July. And now I see it holding and resisting this level of support, looking to go down. So in this case here, it's a live situation. If we get we could get a capitulation break, maybe see this thing go down fast, or continuation grind could be the case. Could be. I mean, it's giving you a whole bunch of different situations. But basically, what I want to say is that it is still live, that we could have like look at these size moves, even a fraction of what these plays could be. The end result would probably mean altcoins really kicking butt. And when I look at my altcoins for today, I only trade a very few amount. And for some people it's few, some people it's large. It depends on, it's not what I'm looking at. Although my ratio moves are pretty big because of Theta, and that's what I'm going to go to next. So that would be, I'm way off ports. So I got Theta fuel up 23%. Theta up 14%, and that's what I'm going to be going to next. And this is since 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 11:22 a.m. as I'm doing this. Tesla's up 4.3%. Bitcoin Cash, and it's just doing nothing much really. But DGB up 6.5%. Gross Coin up 5.7%. But as far as Theta is concerned, which is the one I really want to go over, amongst the weekly, and I didn't plan on starting it this way, but this is definitely one of the main ones to go over, so I might as well start off within it. Market comes up to these Binance highs, open highs in here, and then all of this long, just, yada yada waiting. Fake move here, but it holds the lows. And then this move here, more periods, larger play, and then just a boom, giving it all back. So buy low, sell high kind of working there. And working okay in here too as well, as you manage to come up to the $6,400 high. And back down to the 18 average of lows. Now, that's something it wasn't able to do in here when it came down to this play in here. It didn't support it. And it was just a long grind lower. Even on this situation, it didn't hold where it pretty much needed to. In that, okay, if it's going to have this kind of move, I want to see from this low to this high, like hold somewhere, heck, even at lowest, like would have been then like 1900, but it went all the way back to where it came from. But on this occasion, after making this high, it has successfully, amongst this more longer term time frame, held the 18 average of lows. It supported it pretty much perfectly on the July 27 week. And then lifting off from there. And this is now the third consecutive week of great gains after the okay week of a net 9% move. Yeah, that's okay. The week after that, 2 weeks ago, 21% up against Bitcoin. Last week, 25 almost. And so far, and we're just early in the week, we're currently in at 14. But I drew these Fibonacci lines in, and they're huge levels from the low and the high. So how is it going to retrace from this high to this low? And again, it's done successfully well. And one of the things I mentioned is the fact that it didn't pierce below this, which it usually does after resisting it here, coming back down here, resisting it again. It really looked to me like a high probability, even on a bullish level, and of course it has been bullish thus far, that it was going to probably go down to like 1800, if not even 1716 with the Pierce Extras, because this number, as I said so many times, that was a quick level. If you do 6400 divided by like any of these low numbers, it's to the root of say 0.382, which is what 61.8% down would be. Multiply that same low, it's going to be around 18ish or so. But because it didn't go lower than that, one of the things that's going in my little monkey brain is, hey, does this mean that, is this a bullish sign that sellers weren't as aggressive, buyers came in early, more aggressive, all those types of things that stopped the market from doing it? I find it very weird how exponential Fibonacci, which is what I calculate, more times than not pierces extra. When it's a calculation of something almost like a heads and tails or a red card or black card, it's like a 50-50 deal, you would think, when you just do the average on it, but no. But in the situation here, because it went extra, I'm just on a more advanced level, does it mean something like this is going to happen? And now, am I looking at, I think I am, a situation of what should be weak resistance at around 6,000 Satoshi. In that, do we even resist it? Do we resist it weak in that maybe we grind in that area, supports, maybe we support around 4,000 or 3,000. Maybe it supports around 5,300 and it resists like 7,500. And that's another way of congesting in that area. Or another way of putting it is, will the 18 average of lows, like you can almost call this weak resistance in that it held in this level. Oh my goodness, but it gave a 3x move back. Yeah, well, at that stage, because it goes up so much, that's even if and I don't think it was weak. No, that's not weak resistance. Because it was at that stage, you went straight up from this point. It was heavy resistance level. So, yeah, let's throw that aside. But again, the fact that it didn't go down as much, that is just, I think, phenomenal. On the daily term time frame, as I've been mentioning before in here, okay, so it looked like we're going to test it. We never, like the low end, we didn't do it. So now we come up here, but as I mentioned, if I can see it hold and stay above it for a decent amount of time, well, what's all this in here? Yeah, that's holding and staying above it. Always adjusting to the message of the market. So I can be bearish that it's going to come down here, but There's a lot of things to adjust to it when I see it resist here, pull back, resist here, pull back, and stay within the highs like this, then have this move. Green candle up, consolidate on this day. And then all these several days. And then even though it looks like it's an exact hit, it's not. Although it might be exact hit of this high, though. This high is 3,070. This low is 3,053. So a Pierce extra on this and 3,053. Oh, pretty much. I just threw a random number at 3048. But as it goes, it supported this level. That is just a magnificent feat to do such. And then when you see it lifting off, you have to give it serious credentials here and look how it's been going. We resist this point of around 4,000 a few days ago on the 21st. Pull back to about 35. That's only about an 11 or 12% pullback, but only in the fact that it had its pullback just like before. Sellers not as aggressive. Buyers, okay, more not as more like, okay, I don't think I want to. I think this is enough of a pullback. Again, more aggressive in buying this, taking more sell orders in. So many different reasons you can mention for this, but now that it's getting above this, now we got to start talking about getting the previous high, and that previous high is about 6,000. And if now this area of resistance, I like to see it hold because it's had a good gain above it as a level of support if there's going to be any pullbacks. And I'd be looking for that on the shorter term time frame. On the shorter term, we can see here on the 21, we resist it, pull back, resist it, but piercing extra on it, and kind of supporting this level of resistance in here. And then even though you're doing the combination of supporting this and resisting this amongst low volatility, thus within saying low volatility, sellers not being active. And then when the buyers did come in control of this market at the 1800 stamp on the 23rd, which was last night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, it's been nothing but buyers in control and thus still staying in full control of the market. A little bit of a pullback. Again, that's all it is. Just a little bit here, then breaking this level of resistance and establishing this pullback. And it's even broken this mark in here and now congesting amongst this mark. So we can see on the 5 minute, just quickly to finish it off, just how phenomenally well that's been. Now, as far as the altcoins in general, just for something to do, I always, with my spreadsheet, just show how markets are up or down from a significant point. And within such, since May the 5th, February the 23rd, they're just random days, and since the 1st of January, this is how much everything is up. Now, everything here is up against Bitcoin. This is up against the dollar. So Bitcoin is up 33% against the dollar since May the 5th, 18 cents here, and 64% for the year. But as it goes, at least for myself in a portfolio level, okay, my Bitcoin Cash is down like 13.5% for the year. But against the dollar, it's actually doing pretty good, and Bitcoin's up 64. In fact, the only reds I got is that. Litecoin, again, still up decent. And then Ripple, the big staples. And then we got Dash, another staple, up 35%. DGB up 256% against the Bitcoin. Hedera up 200%. And it's been pretty much, I'll put that up next because I haven't even looked at it for a while. It's just doing nothing. But it's holding in there and they're doing nothing. I know that. Theta Fuel and Theta up 300% each. That is just magnificent. And Tesla's up 67% against the Bitcoin. And that's again with Bitcoin up. Gold and silver this year, silver up 48% and gold up 28%. And that's, I haven't updated these in a few days, but those prices are relatively close. So let's just finish it off with a bonus quick little Hedera. And again, that's just holding in there for Hedera comes in and then boom, just crashes like this. So now we have point A low to point B high. And how much is, I mean, this level of support here at 382 level has been magnificent, but even 508. And here's that rare spot. I mean, I'm guessing this probably is accurate numbers that I put in, but and to a degree, it's, yeah, you almost can count it as no and yes, because this thing pierced below 508 on multiple occasions. But that's after it pierced extra on so many points. So it's been making these lower highs sort of, but it's overall just staying within this large range of a little under 400 and around 500. So it's been basically 400 and something since the end of March. So all of April, May, June, July, and pretty much August now. And at some point, and it's going to do, like I say this all the time, it's going to do it until it doesn't, but it's been that way for so long. And so you see weakness going below, then we're talking about going to 240 and maybe lower. You see strength breaking out above this, especially when you hold and stay below this for a bit, or you just, and it could just keep capitulating, either or it holds and stay above this for a while. Well, now we've had these previous highs set in at 800, and then if it breaks that, we could be talking like, who knows, on the four figures, high 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I mean, these things can go on high volatile levels. As again, I showed you that, some of the percentages moves. And yeah, that's just the way this game works. You have, 114 up to like 852. Well, how about a 7 or so X move, 7 plus X move for you? And that was just like the original, the start move. There can be 20, 30, 40 X moves, and there has been in the past. And that's why, again, showing the Bitcoin dominance at the start of this whole shebang of this video. There can be the potential, and if that has a big move, you can see these things just fly high. Like pretty much almost everyone, I call those dartboard rallies, and it shows as if, or maybe we've been in one, I guess you could say, last year for a very small, low, extreme low volatile one, but nothing that I can consense to really count as much. So I'm still not saying a dartboard rally has begun, but it's looking closer and closer.